but I just found out that this piece, that I have a piece due today that I thought was due Friday. So instead of working on a sketch, pardon me, and then having to do this after, I'm going to work on this because my final piece is going to, oh my gosh, very sketchy. So I'm going to make a quick change. I sketched this guy out yesterday onto the page, and there was something wrong with it. I left it overnight to see how I felt about it, and I do feel like it needs... Oh, hi, Elstefan. I do feel like it needs... I had drawn this one, which is what I'm basing it on, and you can see, like, this one looks like a raccoon position. This one, he's all spread out, which I think isn't not raccoony, but it doesn't give you me that like visceral, oh, a raccoon feeling. So I'm just going to quick erase this and move it over closer to here. I got this eraser. I hope it works because I hope it doesn't leave any marks and stuff, because I do want to use this as my final piece and not have to redraw the whole thing, because I do really like the work I did on the head and the banana. It should, knock on wood, because I used a pencil that should erase very well, and I tried to remain light and airy with it. Also, the part that might not erase very well will still be part of the drawing, so that's okay. Like, every single pencil mark doesn't have to be erased. It just has to not look. I use my fancy gum eraser. I don't know what this is actually called. If you speak Japanese, maybe you know. But I like this one because it really lifts the stuff off of the paper, and that's why it leaves these really big dusts. All right. That's pretty good. I have a couple of spots where I drew really deep on the paper, or maybe even my pencil lead ran out and I scratched it, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think because it's going to be contained where there's going to be other pencil, you won't even notice it in the final piece. Okay, so we have the head, and basically we want... Oh, thank you very much, Sean. Welcome. So we have the head, and basically... Oh, hello, William Jr. I am in the United States. I am at the moment not taking any requests because of my deadline. I have a looming deadline. I need to get this done actually this afternoon, because I promised I would go into a show and I don't have anything else ready. I thought this show deadline was Friday, and it's not. It's today at 4 or something. So I really need to get this done. But yeah, another time I would gladly draw your profile, as long as it's like appropriate and it's something I think I could draw. I would be happy to. Hello, Oma. Bread to 1M. Yeah, at the moment I am not taking requests, but another time I would love to. I'm on a tight deadline today, unfortunately, because of my own mistakes. I'm sorry? But yeah, if you come back tomorrow, I will do I'm doing sketching every day. And so if you have any requests that anyone, as long as they're like family friendly and I think I could draw them, I'll gladly give them a go. I had a whole day a couple of days ago where I just did requests, and it was all stuff that I didn't think I could draw, and I had a great time. So I'm totally willing to give that another chance, another try, and have another fun time. Ooh, so I go back and forth. I'm in printing with my favorite color. And so I see like cyan, magenta, and yellow a lot. And I think probably one of those is gonna always be my favorite color, just because like they feel like magic, how you can mix them to make anything on a page. So let's say today it's magenta. Okay, I think this is looking normal. I mean realistic. What do you think? Yep, I'm gonna do the dark lines on the raccoon's tail. At the moment, there's no way to donate, but thank you so much. Yeah, that maybe I'll set up a Patreon or something. You're the first person to ever ask. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, my wife and I have an Etsy, but I have not put any of my artwork up. But I will do that. I've been meaning to do it anyway, and so it would be nice. I can make prints of everything I draw, or some of the stuff I draw, and get it up on there. Okay, I think that is the sketch done, and I'm going to color this banana. I am a little nervous, but let's get to it. First, let me erase, um, see if I can erase some of the stuff that the banana covered over. I think that's good. Okay. Oh, thank you, Messy. Okay. I I have not used Craypos since I took an art class in school, but I always have loved Craypos, so I think I'm gonna go with it. They're oil pastels. I have some yellows, and I have some oranges. And I think I'll make this banana ripe, like overripe. So yellows, bananas, and maybe a little black is what I'm going to be using. Oh yeah, yellows, oranges, and maybe a little black is what I'm going to be using. So let's do, what's the opposite of yellow on the color wheel? Purple. So I'm actually also going to use some purple. I'm going to do color theory here. This is not something I've ever done with Craypos, but in color theory, if you want something to have a lot of depth, you should do the contrasting color. What is it? The complementary color to get the shadows instead of just black. So here goes. The complementary color for yellow is purple. So I'm going to throw some of that down in places where I know it's going to be dark or further into the back. And it's totally okay if this banana doesn't look super realistic. Just to my preference. It's fine. I don't mind. Although that is what I'm aiming for. Okay, yep. I'm liking this okay. Now let's use some orange also for depth before we layer on the brighter yellows, which will hopefully really lift it and make it look... Ooh, I should make sure I put my paper down. Okay, I'm feeling okay about using Craypos for the first time since school. I literally bought this box years ago and it's been sitting on my shelf, and I'm always like, it'll be great when I finally have a project I can use Craypos on. And then every project I'm like, oh no, that's too serious. I'm not practiced enough with my Craypos. And it's like, bro, you're never going to be practiced enough if you don't use your damn Craypos. They're just like crayons, except instead of wax, they're oil, right? So they spread a lot easier, they mix a lot more easily. I can zoom in here on this banana, get a better view of that. No, I can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I want to make sure I actually get the purple incorporated and it's not just purple sitting on top. What a cool day. I was really struggling to go live today. I just didn't feel good. And I had this work to do, and it's kind of like the combination was making me nervous, I guess. But I'm really happy that I'm doing this on the live, even though it's not the sketch, and this is like a sketch a day live. But yeah, gotta be flexible when you gotta be flexible, I guess. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I really appreciate everybody who's here live, and I really appreciate everybody who's here in the future. So if that's you, thank you so much. Oh, I have to remember, if you're here live, I would love for you to like. I normally don't care about that stuff, but YouTube will let other people know that I'm live if people who are here do the liking. And I don't know if they really do otherwise. So I'd really appreciate that. Okay, I do have a blender, so maybe I've technically used these at some point. None of them look used, but there's a blender here. So I wonder what that's about. That blender is not going to work for me, so I'm going to create a blender to blend this banana here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take a piece of paper and try to like rip it so it has as much ripped edge as possible. Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. And then I'm just going to roll it up so that ripped edge is front and center. I am struggling with the roll today. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be super tight. I'm basically creating a very cheap little brush that I can push around some oil paints with. Some oil pastels. Ooh, do I have... Yep, a little washi tape just to hold it all together so I don't have to concentrate on pinching it. But in a pinch, you can pinch it or you can fold it down to like lock it in place. But I am not in a pinch. There's washi tape right here. So now I'm just coming in and there's spots where the color doesn't hit the paper all the way. There's white spots because that's just how textured paper and crayons work. So I'm pushing it around a little bit. This will also help me mix and decide where the purple and the yellow are going to interact. I'm using one side for mostly yellow and one side for mostly purple. It's not going to stay good the whole time, but I'm just flipping it over when I want to do purple mix. Whoops, I missed. And flipping it back when I want to do mostly yellow mix. I do have some colored pencils and I have some white chalk. And I might come in with either of those to get some details down, depending on how I feel about this. Ooh, I like just had a big purple line over here. I didn't even see. Let me get that incorporated. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Okay. I don't hate it. Oops. Got to be careful brushing it off like it's pencil because it will stain the paper and I will not be able to erase it or get rid of it. That's mostly the thing to be careful for here is once it's down, it's pretty hard. Especially if it's the first layer on the paper, that's going to be down. You can scratch off a second layer, you can do a lot of other stuff, but okay, and then this is the yellowy yellow for highlights and stuff. So I'm going to come in and this is going to go on top. The light for this is going to be coming from this direction. So let's get some of that. I think this looks good. I'll probably also come in with some white because even though this is lightening it up, I'd love just a little bit more in some places. I guess this back will have some. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I do have a white. So, I would love for this stem to be a little bit more covered, the pencil line, to not be bleeding through as much. But we'll see. This is like the pith in here that I didn't color. So let's... Okay, I think that looks fine. Looks good. The other option is if I can't get that pencil to disappear, I could highlight it and just like make it extra, which I might do. Oh, let's try this colored pencil. I have not used these at all. Ooh, there's no white. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh. Oh no, they are. This is peach. Do we have a yellow? Okay, I have a yellow. Okay, it doesn't. I was hoping for a white. This is fine, but it's not doing what I want. So I'm going to go back to the Cray-Paw. I'm just going to scrape a little of this yellow off, maybe get it to a finer point, and try again. Keep going until it works, or until I'm done. There's my point. Okay, I like it. I think it's come... I think it's come together a lot. I think the white is helping even in the darker spots. It is acting like a blender in a way that my blender was not really doing. And I think it's giving it a softer, more realistic, more blended. I like that a lot. Turns the purple from like a red, which I guess because it wasn't fully mixed with the yellow, into like a more like a bruise color, which is what I was hoping for. And I might come in with some blue, which is the real, like, which is a like close to a complementary of yellow. It's the complementary of orange, and we definitely have some orange in here. And see if I can make that look like some, dark spots or give it some real banana-y bruising. I did grab a black, so I could also kind of do that. There's definitely some bruising here, so we can... I drew a banana and really focused on coloring it a few years ago. And I remember, like, I did so much work on it. And the thing that finally made it look real and finally made me go like, oh yeah, that's a banana, was the blemishes. Like, to me, it doesn't feel like a banana is mostly blemish. I mean, that's not like the defining part of a banana. But for my brain, as soon as the blemishes went down, it went, yeah, you did it. That's a banana. Good job. Yeah, there's a couple famous bananas. Andy Warhol's banana. Yeah, the cover of the Velvet Underground. That's totally right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The screen print of it, yeah. I'm gonna just... wasn't cleaning my blender before because I was happy to have all the colors bleed, but for this black, just in between, kind of blending it down and just kind of cleaning it on a piece of paper off screen. I'm just rubbing it off. Okay. I'm starting to like this. I think all the pencil now looks like blemishes now that I've added blemishes to the center, which is really important. I didn't want there to look like, I don't know, it didn't sit right. This guy kind of got away from me, so I'm just gonna extend it out. I'm starting to really like this. I'm gonna add a little bit of brown. I'm gonna use a colored pencil to get my precision. And I'm just gonna bring in some brown up here where it's like been ripped off the plant. I'm gonna kind of extend this out so I can draw where there's no crepa. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think it kind of brought it. Should I use a little pencil? I did. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. What I'm doing now is just kind of giving it a solid outline because I think that's going to be better than having like some pencil in some spots and not in others. So I thought if we throw pencil down along the whole outside edge, then it looks like it's on purpose. And that's what being on purpose is. That's the most important part of something being on purpose, is that it looks like it was on purpose. Okay, and you know what? I think we need a little bit of banana back here behind his head. Ah, that's a hard choice. I feel like it might be missing, it might not be missing.
Try it. Try like moving your arm, your hand like behind the ear. See how that goes.
Because I was thinking, like, yeah, it would. I
Because if it blends, because I don't think it would hang all the way down the back. Maybe it'll go, maybe flip out from out on the outside of the ear.
oh, like here. I think we leave it.
Yeah, I think you could.
Okay, I am going to try to clean up the little extendo spots. I don't want them to. I'm gonna create another tool with a piece of paper. I'm gonna create a little scraper. And this is literally just gonna be a scooped piece of paper. I'm just gonna come in here and scrape. You can actually even scrape down. It doesn't have to scrape up. I just want I just don't want there to be little pieces of crepa that look like they're sitting on top of the banana skin. All right, I'm very pleasantly surprised. As something that's my first crepa in, like, seriously, like, years and years, maybe at least 10 years probably. I am very happy. Oh, okay. Let's see. So the other things I just want to do is come in with a darker pencil. And I probably should have done this first now that I'm thinking about it, but what's done is done. What's today is today. Yesterday is a foreign country. I lost a crepa. Oh, here it is. We'll put these crepas away. So I do have some watercolor, and I am tempted to wash this raccoon in a brown. I'm not going to do it. I have to make a decision. I have the pieces due today. If I mess it up too much, I'm not going to submit it, and that would be a travesty. So I'm just not going to do it. What I could do maybe, well, I have to figure this foot out actually. I think this foot should be more like here and sort of pointing at us. Oh, you can't see. Let me zoom out. Well, you guys see my messy desk?
Hashtag my messy desk is like real big in factors and artists.
Yeah, I believe it. We were all told that having a messy desk meant we were terrible people. At least I was. I think that back leg is fine. Now,
Especially like where, imagine you got this fracture kind of got caught, right? It got caught. So we're gonna feel on the side. Feels like, oh, little like his limbs can be totally sure.
I should really use a ruler.
At least trim it sideways so you're going towards
Ah, was this the right? No. Okay, that was really off. So I'm happy I at least brought that back. Okay, we're just gonna mark where that's gonna come out. Make sure my eraser's clean. This is something I have ruined many a piece. Ruined is a strong word because you can, if I ruin a physical piece, I will scan it in and turn it into a digital piece because then you can clean up anything. But I have ruined many a physical piece by using a dirty eraser. Dirty eraser. Okay, I'm gonna come in now with the unerasable pencil. So I'm a little nervous because like the Craypaws, this is it. This is once it's down, it's down. So I don't think I'll need, like you can do this so you can have some place to put your brush, your hand down without touching the paper. I don't think I'll need to do that today, but if I do, I will. Ooh, it's got some Craypaw on it. Oh. When I started drawing, I had no idea how much of drawing would be like ripping up paper and turning it into things you need. It's quite a bit. Okay. What? Oh, okay. One really nice thing about this is because I covered his second eye, I only have to draw one eye. And that is freeing, not because it's like particularly less work to draw one eye instead of two, but because you don't have to worry about making them both look like they match. Which can be a real pain for me sometimes. I was actually just talking about a time I was doing a drawing for a short I was making, and I could not get this eye to match. And after like my third or fourth time erasing it and really struggling, like not understanding why I wasn't able to get it to match up, I was just like, this girl has an eye patch. Yeah, if I need to zoom in, let me know. This is time for the detail work to turn this sketch into a drawing. I'm going to throw some shadow underneath the banana peel. Make sure you can tell that this raccoon has fur there and that that's where their head is. Same with right over here. Okay. One of my favorite things about doing this type of pencil sketch to finish drawing is that a lot of the original sketch is incorporated into the final drawing. It's sort of like when you ink an illustration, you end up getting rid of all the pencil, which is fine. That's a, you know, that's the choice. You're trying to make like really clean line art. But it's cool for me when all that pencil stays in the drawing. It's actually a huge part of my drawing journey was realizing that people liked my pencil work because I would draw stuff like this and then just use it as an intermediary step in order to make something else. And one time I didn't have time to make the something else, so I just used one of the pencil drawings and people were like, "Wow, you really got better at drawing." And I was like, this is something I always do. What do you mean?" And it turned out like people liked this a little bit better, a little bit different. It was more popular. And it was something I was already doing. So it was really nice to like discover that work that I was already doing was more appreciated than I thought. And it reminded me, or it reminds me constantly to make sure I share what I'm doing because I never know what people are going to like. And I shouldn't make assumptions about the things people like. Okay, this is really coming together. I don't have a ton of time, but I don't think I will need a ton more time. I'm just gonna like clean up the outline. Oh, hey, Alan. I am finished. What? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I am finishing off this sketch because I have an art show today that I promised somebody I would put a piece in, and I thought it was for Friday, and it's not. It's for today. So luckily I had already started on this, but woof. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I I've been doing sketch a day. I've been doing a sketch on a live every day in May. And a few months ago, I had done a series of animals and hats. And when I realized I had this show coming up and I needed to make a piece for it, I was like, I guess I can do an animal in a hat. And this is what ended up coming out. I had also done a piglet in a flower crown, but that didn't make the cut. I think too cutesy. That's better for like a happy birthday card or something. Like, what would it be? Like an oink pun, or maybe You're so pig. No, no.
Alan's my birthday today.
Oh my gosh. Happy birthday. Where's this pig? Where's this birthday pig? Here it is. Hold on for 1 second. This is important. It's somebody's birthday. Happy birthday, Alan. Can we see that? There we go. Oh, I'll zoom in. Happy birthday, Alan. All right. Thanks for stopping by on your birthday. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so now it's good that I kept the pig aside, because otherwise you would have had a garbage panda saying happy birthday to you. And the pig's much cuter. Yeah, what's that song? I know it's called like Happy Birthday or something. But what's that song they used to sing before they found out that the birthday song was actually in public domain? Happy birthday to ya. No, it's like happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Now I'm just singing happy birthday to you. Okay, yeah, this is going to be in front. The tail will come out of behind. I'm going to turn this whole thing. Oh, I forgot to zoom out a little bit. Oh, cool. Thanks for stopping by, Alan. Have a great day. Okay, we're getting there. Man, when I first started drawing animals, the fur was such a hard, because like I still sometimes want to just do the whole animal, right? It is fur everywhere. But you can't do that. I mean, you could. It would take forever and it wouldn't look very good though. And then also, in my experience anyway, I have a really hard time like can I zoom out? There. Like if I think about how to draw the fur on these, like it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna get confused and it's not gonna be good. So I just have to let my hand do it. But that also means that the first, like, I don't know, 30, 40 times I did it, it didn't look good because my hand didn't know how to do it yet. There's a concept called hand brain. So I think it was discovered, somebody had a stroke and they couldn't do anything with their hands. They couldn't like write, they couldn't do regular things that they had done with their hands. And then somebody sat them down at a piano. They had played piano for years. And they were like, well, they won't be able to play piano, but like, you know, let's just. And they could play piano. And it turned out like the part of the brain that remembers how to play piano is different from the part of the brain that controls the hands in like more in other activities. And they found out there's like basically you have a tiny little hand brain, and your hand remembers things. Like we call it muscle memory. And yeah, you have muscle memory in your hand. That's like, you know, octopuses have it. They literally have a brain for each hand. And we have something called, I think it's called a ganglia, which is like a bundle of nerves that does, that's why we remember things with our hands also. So it's like, it's similar, but octopuses, it's like a whole dang brain. A whole ding dang brain. If an octopus loses an arm, it still is doing exactly what an octopus arm is trying to do all the time anyway, because it doesn't know that it doesn't have a body, because it is controlled by the arm brain. Is this not a pleasant conversation? Sometimes I think, like, what's a raccoon's equivalent of a hand brain, you know? Like, are they washing their food without thinking about it? Probably. I'm gonna give this just a kind of overlay one, because I want it to all look like it's flowing with the tail. This one too. And then here, I'll create a little shadow because it's behind the butt. It's not coming out right here, it's coming out from behind the butt. So I'll create a shadow by filling in some hair selectively, which I'm also going to do on the butt. So I'll come back and... Okay. I'm getting very close to done. This hand needs some sort of work. But I think I'll end the stream here for today and get this detail work done off screen. Thank you so much. I'll be working on something different tomorrow. Hope you have a great day. Happy birthday, Alan, if you're still here. I mean, you know, on the live. I know you're not here right now. On the rewatch. Bye. Have a great day.